And it is on to the bottom of the map of Metropolis. We have the OGS play, was playing earlier already against the Protoss on the very same map. We have the Eternal player in the reds.
OGS pin.
And very, very annoying. We have apparently another problem for our Protoss player, for the Foreigner, with this FPS. He just mentioned it in the chat. Starting to the right side of the map is the Evil Genius.
EG Hub.
So I hope that this is not a problem that's going to be persistent. Actually, it's a little bit surprising to me that he still has to face the problem. I would like to talk to Huck and just ask him if in the last game if they were able to solve the problem, but he is pausing the game.
We're going to get some insight into this right now. I don't know.
That must be so annoying.
It is really annoying. I don't know if it's the same computer, but we have the whole brigade running in there, even John the translator. So the issue should be resolved. I don't know why this is happening to him. It may just be that...
If you just tuned in, guys, I'm sorry to cut you off there.
Go ahead.
He had the problem earlier. He was mentioning in his first game already that he had problems with his FPS, that he was dropping. The game got resumed and they played the game. He was facing Slayer's Brown at this point in time and was able to win the game. But right now, in his second game, he didn't mention anything about it, but now he apparently has another problem. And he's actually a little bit agitated there, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, I would be. I mean, seriously, this problem apparently keeps popping up, and for him it is a huge issue if his FPS is dropping the entire game, especially in the early stage of the game.
Yeah, well, I like that he's drawing attention to this right now rather than waiting until a very important moment later. I mean, we're so early in the game here that if a regame is necessary or if the problem cannot be resolved, I think that, you know, things can be fixed. There's not a lot of consequences. It's less stressful. It's less scandalous, you know, that he's paused the game here at this stage. So we'll see exactly what is going to happen very soon. I don't know exactly the results of the situation here, but we'll find out very soon. It's agitating not only to Huck, but to me that this is happening because I just want to watch a good game between Huck and ForGG. I don't know why his computer's dropping frames. He's asking in chat. He wants to. It looks like they're trying to find out what ForGG's FPS is. I think basically what is happening is the FPS. The Golem is probably saying that the FPS is pretty normal or something like that, and so he's asking Finn like what his is because he wants to compare the two.
That is really cute. Finn does not know how to show the FPS. It's Control F for all of you who don't know, but
it's Control Alt F actually.
Yeah, to me it's really funny to see that a pro gamer does not know it, because every pro gamer that I've watched so far, the first game that he does when he enters the game is show the FPS of the computer. And it's at 75 apparently as well. So 75 to 70, and Huck is fine with it as long as his opponent is on the same amount of FPS. So,
well, right now it's paused, so it's kind of a...
It was different earlier though when he faced Slayer's Brown.
Yeah.
Brown told him immediately, well, I'm at 140.
Yeah, I don't know, this is kind of weird. I'm at 61 right now in game, but we're paused, so that doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah. Guys, if you want to use the break, I talked about the picture that I wanted to take of Linux. I tried to give it a shot, so I uploaded it to my Twitter at Kaldor. It was just kind of funny how he was sitting there. We can't give you a clear shot of the area, but there's a huge stack of chairs where he sat. So I think you can still make it out. If you want to have a look, just go over to Twitter at Kaldor. There's the picture. And apparently we are back with the game.
Yep.
So right now both of them are happy with the situation. Huck said that it is okay to resume, so there we go. The game is 2 minutes old and we are back to business with OGS Finn and EG Huck. I always have a problem to just sometimes they say OGS Finn, sometimes it's ForGG. It's really,
it doesn't matter.
A couple of websites list him as ForGG, others as Finn. In the GSL now we have Finn, so probably I should stick to this.
Well, it doesn't matter. See, this is the thing where, well, hold that thought as we see the Huck Norris probe over here doing some work. this occurs so often, and if programmers change their IDs, they're going to have to accept the fact that people will refer to them as their old IDs. Oh wow, look at this. He almost lost the probe. Well, you guys didn't see, but nice micro by Finn to take out that probe. Almost getting it.
Do you think that Finn is going for the same build that he used to get? No, he's not.
He has not taken gas, so now he's going for the barracks. But
that's another thing, by the way, guys. So just in case you didn't know, the players that don't play, they can follow the games in the backstage area, where there's a separate room with a screen and everything. So it's fair to assume that Huck watched the games of Finn against Killer.
Yeah, he did. I actually went back and saw him watching it. Like, he was sitting back there, assuming he watched it. He definitely did, basically.
So he definitely knows at least one of the builds of Finn against Terran on this map. So Huck would, well, I think we can suppose that Huck will be prepared for it, that he is going to scout if there's going to be some kind of drop play going on.
Yeah. Finn is double barracksing here before his command center is done. Going up to 3 barracks, so he can put some marine pressure on his opponent. This is kind of related to the build you were talking about with Bomber earlier, but in this case, he's doing the 3 barracks after rather than before. Huck is going up to 3 gates himself, and this will allow him to pressure as he expands. He has 2 gases, so it's probably going to be a little bit more sentry heavy, although not necessarily. Oh, a Twilight Council going down in a hidden location over here.
That is a location that Huck, well, that Finn will never scout.
Yep.
This is just to the left side of the map when you start, close air positions to the bottom right. This is a position that will never be scouted by Finn. There's just no reason for it.
It's like the main base on Shakuras. Like, across from you, there's, you know your opponent can't spawn there. There's just no reason to check for anything over there. And the Twilight Council's finishing. We're going to see a Dark Shrine.
Yep, we will. And this is going to be very, very interesting and very sneaky by Huck. He's taking a risk here, but I feel...
Zealot almost lost hit points.
I was just a little bit, well, I was stunned because the Korean commentators just went for this huge awe, and we already talked about the Dark Shrine, but I think they just spotted it. So they were a little bit late and was like, okay, did he scout it? Did he scout it? Did something happen? Was there a scan for whatever reason? Because there was no unit on the minimap?
Well, they were so in awe about the Zealot escaping.
I think they just saw the Dark Shrine a little bit later than we did.
No, I checked actually. They were looking at the Zealot. It was kind of funny because he almost blocked it, but the the Green casters were laughing earlier when Huck warped in. I love sometimes to hear the Korean casters' reactions when the Zealots warped into onto the high ground when Huck was playing against the Zerg. They thought it was like, they just laughed really loudly when that was happening. I thought it was kind of funny that they were laughing. Now Huck will be able to warp in some DTs here. He actually just warped in 3 Zealots, so he's going to need to chrono boost his warp gates here before he can use it. He may make even more than that with how many DTs he has available to him now. There is no engineering bay done yet. It's almost done. It's all going to come down to the micro. There are no scans available. 1 scan finishing right now. If he drops the mule, he's going to regret it. He drops the mule. It's all going to come down to how well Huck splits his DTs and where he targets them. Here they come.
3 of them, and there is no missile turret up. He doesn't even start to build one. Wow, he's trying to block the ramp, but look at the rest of the unit.
He is going for an all-in here.
Nice, beautiful. He's going in with all these Zealots, taking down the bunker, taking down the units as well. In the main base, we have all these Dark Templars, and look how they got it. While the missile turret is still not done. He is doing so well. Huck with 56 supply against 53. The rest of the units of the foreign player in the main base taking on the production buildings of Finn.
Yeah, I mean, he looks really strong here. This is a very interesting variation where he's going for a Zealot follow-up to this. He's trying to go for attacking units rather than SCVs. He's trying to stop some research here. Unfortunately, that's not the tech lab that's researching. The other one is researching combat shields right now. Finn does have stim, and his command center is still alive down at the bottom, so he can continue to build energy there.
Oh, he's getting so annoying now. Huck being a nuisance in the main base.
Yep.
Finn has not enough energy. Now he does, and takes down both of these DTs.
This is really scary for Huck. He is making a Nexus now, and
he is
starts
still
Blink.
behind in Harvesters.
Yep, indeed, you're right. It's because he went for attacking units rather than Harvesters when he attacked, which can actually work really well. He needs to micro this DT. Gets 1 Marauder. No concussive shells since he was researching both shields and stim earlier. Huck kind of botched this a little bit. He hesitated a lot with his DTs, and he could have done more, but with this Zealot heavy build, you can't really go into the main to attack because there's just too many buildings in the way. He couldn't use his Zealots correctly.
Yeah, you get stuck between mineral patches, between buildings, and the positioning of Finn was actually really nice. So he had a very, very good, well, main base defense going for him, which is why Huck just tried to attack the outer buildings, just tried to take down one of the barracks. He's now on 2 bases, and well, still a little bit ahead in supply. As you can see, we have him on 34 against 39 harvesters now. So he's behind, but he's mining from 2 mineral lines, while ForGG still has to lower his expansion once again to the low ground at the natural.
Huck has put only 2 probes in each of his assimilators at his natural. You can see he really wants to get a little bit additional mineral income right now because he has plenty of gas since he got his gases so early on. His blink is finished, but he actually is going to force the command center to land in an unusual place and then scan.
Sacrifice is another scan to take down the DT. Hug is now on 76 supply, and he has more DTs. Wow, the scan revealed the second T. Oh, not the
turret. Turret
okay.
on the top, and Huck, I don't think, realized this is going to walk into it again.
Yeah, I didn't see it immediately, and I was really taken aback at how far the range of the scan actually reached, and was like, what?
Yeah, that would have been crazy.
Yeah, the missile turret reveals the DT, and reveals the second one as well. You just saw him trying to walk up the ramp, but Finn takes it out.
Yeah, Finn looking pretty good right now with... he's no longer has a worker advantage, but with 2 orbitals, he has stim, combat shields, and medevacs out. He's looking really strong. Huck did get blink. Now he's continuing to build zealots and getting charge, starting a forge now, but ForGG is already at +1, and he's getting +1 armor right now. Everything looking good for him.
Medivacs now for Finn. He's trying to start with this drop play. That's exactly what he does. While Huck is editing as forges that were just mentioned by Wolf, and this is actually going to be really scary for Huck right now. His DT tech in total was not all that successful, especially with the last DTs that he kind of sacrificed. There was not a lot that he could accomplish, and Finn didn't even have to sacrifice scans for it.
Blunked under.
Huck is not reacting. That was kind of unfortunate. If ForGG would have tried to go for it, it would have been taken down immediately. So Huck with a delayed blink, but with a blink and the end, and not able to take down his opponent's dropship while he's now going for 3rd base. As the SCV already, as the probe already in position.
2 additional gates going down, and Huck's upgrades slowly spinning, starting to catch up. He's chroning them as best as he can to get those upgrades out. 3 ghosts are about to pop though for ForGG, and he does not have the energy upgrade, but either way, by the time they get to Huck's base, he's going to have a lot of EMPs available to him. Huck is so zealot heavy right now, though, that EMPs are not going to be exactly what he needs. Huck is trying to take a 3rd right now. If ForGG hesitates very much longer without taking a 3rd and without attacking, Huck will have a lot of upgrades. He'll have powered up 3rd with more gateways. It'll be tough for ForGG to really crawl back into this game if he doesn't attack fairly soon. It looks like he's going to move out, though.
Yeah, he's moving out now, and this is exactly what he has to do, because as you mentioned, Huck with a 3rd base that is now being built, he would be in such a great spot if ForGG would play too passive. He could get these upgrades into play. He could gate Storm as well. He just completed the Templar Archive, but now we have the Terran player moving out, and Huck does not have any area of effect damage. He doesn't have Colossi. He just gets the first few Archons, and this is going to be a tough engagement for our Canadian player.
Alright, looks like he's gonna go through here. His 1-1 does finish, and no EMPs by the looks of things. The Ghost tried, but it hit that many, but the Stalker's forced to blink back.
The damage output for Finn is just too much. Huck can't handle it.
He is warping in more zealots, but
the warp-ins, but it's too late already.
Too much micro for ForGG, and the probe's coming off here. This game is going to end
in favor of Finn. ForGG, aka Finn, he is stimming once again, taking down probes and stalkers alike. His stutter step was just too strong for Huck to deal with. He had no Colossi, he had no Storms, nothing to really put a lot of pressure onto Finn. And the Zealots with the charge, but not enough. And as you can see, this game is not going to end well for Huck, who's now at 46
Yep, he's losing the rest of his probes. Another huge wave is coming across the map for Finn. And you could say Finn about this game as it is about over. Here's that 2nd wave now. He will have to scan again to kill the DT. There it is, GG.
And, well, Wolf, this actually puts us into a crazy position in the group. We have 3 players now with 2 wins and 1 loss, namely Killer, Hot, and ForGG. And at the same time, everyone else in the group, Brown, Lucky, and Virus, is on 1 win and 2 losses. So we have a lot of ties here after 3 games for all of these players, which is kind of crazy. This is really spinning completely out of control.
Yeah, we have a lot of games left though, so that group structure will change so much, so dramatically. But you're right, it's hard right now to pick a clear favorite, a clear player who seems to be doing better than the others. And in most up and down groups, there's always that guy who just jumps ahead. Yeah. Like we saw yesterday, Alicia went 3-0. We saw Lenok the other day, and even Squirtle. Usually one player takes a pretty clear lead and an advantage, but in this case, no one has been able to do that. If Huck had won that game, he would have been the guy, but since he did not, we just have no clear favorite in the group right now.
And with the situation as it is, every single player in this group has still a very good shot at getting one of the Equator spots.
You're
every
exactly right.
single one of them. There is, as you said, usually you have one guy just jumping ahead, but usually there's always some guy who is losing most of his games, and this is not happening today. So the next game is going to be Lucky, apparently, and let me have a quick look. Lucky is facing Killer now.
Yep, it's going to be on Belshire Beach, which should be a really interesting match for Killer. We'll see what type of build he wants to do. This matchup is changing so quickly. But anyway, we're going to take a 5-minute break, so don't go anywhere. Maybe go get a snack, maybe get a soda or something like that, but we'll be back in 5 minutes.